Hey guys, this is just a quick video breaking down a photo shoot I did recently. This was a super fast shoot, probably only about 20 minutes. In the video we're going to kind of break down the lighting and some of the other aspects of the shoot, so I hope you enjoy. So at this point we're arriving at our location. This is just something we stumbled upon. I didn't have a pre-chosen location for the shoot just because it was a quick one, kind of on the fly type of thing. I pull my lens cap off here, just start looking, see what types of angles I could get. I have a 24-70 on, so I wanted to see if my lens was wide enough to get the whole building, but unfortunately it wasn't. So that kind of told me that I need to look for different places and angles to shoot the pictures at. And that prompted me to bring our model up on the stairs here, and I kind of am showing him the pose, basically where I just want one leg up on that top stair, one leg on the bottom stair, and what he's doing here looks good, and so we kind of work out our posing, and you'll see a little bit more of that in a bit. So at this point we had our model set up and it was time to think about light. I knew I wanted to use my flash for these shots. The light was kind of boring. We were shooting in shadow because the sun was really low and we were shooting on the opposite side of a building. Even though I knew I was going to be using my flash for this shoot, I normally take a quick shot using the natural light just to check my composition before I spend the time to set up my flash. In this case, I found the shot I liked, I took it, composition was good, and I knew I was going to move forward with my flash. Right here, I decide to show the model the look that we have, and then I bring it over to the camera to show the audience.
This is natural light, nothing to it, right? Super simple. One of the things I'm noticing is the background.
Now I'm setting up my exposure to introduce the flash. What I'm doing is I'm knocking down the exposure by a couple of stops, just until I like the look of the ambient exposure. Once I'm happy with the ambient exposure, it's time to grab my flash. I already know what I want my light to look like, so it was really easy to set things up.
Actually, it's the flashpoint version. It's the Explorer thing. I don't know. 8300 basically.
Based on how my test shot looked, I knew I wanted to position the flash to the right of my subject and use short light to give him the most flattering appearance. Now you can see me pulling up my strobe. This is to make sure that the catch lights are in the right spot in the subject's eyes, as well as to ensure that the light hits in a flattering way.
You need your key light here really high, and you want it to be a little bit angled down, so that way it ends up in the right position on the eye. So if I go we'll start bare bulb, and then we'll switch, and we'll put on our...
Alright, now to finish setting up my flash. Since I'm using bare bulb with no modifier, it's important that I feather my light. Strobes shoot out light in a cone. What this means is things in the center of the cone are going to receive more light and things on the outside of the cone are going to receive less. When you feather the light, you are putting the outside of the cone on your subject. Now I need to determine my flash power. There are a lot of variables that determine how bright you should set your flash. Aperture, ISO, modifiers, and distance all affect how strong you need to make your flash. Some people prefer to use a light meter, but I've found that the best way for me is to take a few test shots and then adjust my power into the sweet spot.
Power, we're shooting at 128. 128 is not enough. I think we're on A. So since 128 is not enough, I'm just going to go all the way down to 32 and check 32. 32 is looking better. Still a bit too dark. We're going to go down to 16. Take a look. Kind of get our position right again. Alright, so that light looks a lot better, right? It's kind of hard.
Right here, I show the camera that I have found the sweet spot and I'm happy with my exposure.
He's looking sweet. Alright, cool.
Now I come over to the model and make a couple quick adjustments before I go back to shooting.
Just hand down, kind of relax it. Yeah, that looks good. And then, look out right past this way.
You'll see that throughout the shooting process, I continue to give my model prompts to change up the shots.
Look a little bit more towards the face on me. Just to get a little more of your face. That's cool. Sweet. I want to make sure my composition is good. Take a couple of shots. Now fix your jacket. So do a little jacket flip. Just being cool. Yeah, bro. Do a couple more of those. I'm gonna get really low here and see if we can get something really dramatic.
After I've taken a couple shots and I'm happy, I take a second to review the images.
Bubble back it down. Fix your jacket one more time. Cool. So we just got a couple of shots, right? Light looks good. It's dramatic. It's cool. You can see the light looks pretty decent there. But I really want to play with this dramatic scenery of the building, right? We're just kind of getting our light.
After our shot standing at the railing, we decided to sit down on the stairs and get a couple more shots. I left the flash bare bulb, I'm still feathering it, and it's about the same distance as it was from my subject during the standing shots. I did this so I didn't have to play with my flash power too much, and we could just run into it smoothly.
But it's very exaggerated, and it looks really cool with this little shot. So our light should be good. We really haven't changed a whole lot. I kind of kept the range of the light similar, so we shouldn't be getting a ton of like light change here. Same distance, same power, pretty easy. Just change the position so it matches, right? We're gonna get a wide shot like this. Try to keep out our flash there if we can. So we're gonna kind of come into this split angle here. And that looks really sweet. Actually, come look down at me just a little bit more so I can get a little bit more of your face. And it's hard to get a good angle with this building, just with the 24. But I feel like that's pretty sweet. And actually, kind of look towards Gianna now. Hold the camera over there. Look down just a little bit more. Yo, Dylan, you cool holding the flash for me? Yeah. That'd be sweet, bro. We're gonna butterfly light this. This means I want you to hold the flash like here for me, if you can. Normally you'd use a C-stand, but I don't have C-stands. I have people, so we're gonna make our own C-stand with Dylan. Yep, perfect. Just bring it a little bit closer. A little bit closer. We were gonna go with. Yeah, that should be sweet. I know this looks super.
So after doing a few of the stair shots, I decided to shoot a few with butterfly light. And I decided to bring our light source super close to our model's face so that way we could get some really dramatic light fall off. What I mean by saying a dramatic light fall off is I mean that the light has a longer gradient from light to dark. To do this, I had one of my friends hold the light because I didn't bring a C-stand with me.
For everybody who's wondering. I'm gonna get low so I can get your whole face in the shot. I'm gonna get it like that. We want a little bit more space. Now look towards Dylan. So you can see the shadow fall off here is really, really like soft. So it goes from bright and has this wonderful gradient into dark. And that's because of the softbox, keeping it close, having a difference between our ambient and a pretty big difference between our ambient.
So that's going to do it for the end of this shoot. I did take a couple more shots during the shoot that I'm just not including for various reasons, but I think more importantly, it's time to learn how I edited these images. Alright, so now let's get into my edits. I've actually recorded this once already, but it took way too long, so now we're going to go through it and hopefully it'll be a little bit shorter. If you're interested in seeing a more lengthy edit breakdown, let me know. So these are the images. I'm just going to quickly do a before and after. As you can see, this one color correction, and then some exposure adjustments. Same deal. Here. This one we didn't have to do as much in terms of bringing up the background. That's the other ones, but it was a bit more difficult to correct color-wise. And then this image, basically the same as the first two, where we had to bring up the shadows in the background again. And so I use a lot of masks when I do my edits. I'll just go in quickly. Oops. Oh, as well as crops. I always crop in post. I think it's important. But here's the masks that I use for this one, for example. See, there's a lot of masks on here. A couple masks on here. This will help you understand the image in total and overall. Just a couple of quick masks on this one. Masks here. So, yeah, these are the images. I go through and put them in Photoshop as well. So this is before they went into Photoshop, and these are actually the afters they went into Photoshop. That's how I do my sharpening, as well as in this one shot, the foot was a bit too close, so I did a little generative fill to expand the frame. Um, so yeah, that's basically all my edits. I kept this one short. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.